Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for an informative and exciting global cruise line webinar with Royal Caribbean International. My name is Johanna de Guzman. I'm the Manager of Industry Relations for North American Travel Trade Membership here at CLIA. And I'm going to quickly go through some housekeeping before introducing our presenter. The webinar will run for about 40 to 45 minutes with time for questions at the end. Please feel free to type your questions into the questions module of the webinar, and we will get to them at the conclusion of the presentation. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted on CLIA's YouTube channel, CLIA Global. It is my pleasure to introduce our presenter, Anthony Miloro. Anthony is Royal Caribbean International's Director of Business Development Support, Host Travel Partner, and Trade Relations. Within the cruise industry's largest sales organization, Anthony oversees more than 30 inside sales representatives who provide strategic support to valued travel advisors and agencies across the United States and Canada. The industry veteran with 27 years at Royal Caribbean has been integral in the growth of the cruise line's dedicated business development operation and network of relationships with host travel partner agencies and at-home travel professionals. Anthony is co-chair of ASTA's Proud Partner Committee, which is dedicated to supporting ASTA's initiatives and travel agency distribution system. His experience of nearly 3 decades includes time as a business development manager for 12 years in South Florida and Southern Virginia. And with that, take it away, Anthony.
Well, thank you, Johanna. And my gosh, you made me sound pretty good there. I appreciate that. And welcome to all of our CLIA members on today, whether it's good afternoon or good morning or somewhere in between. I'm so excited to be here with all of you today. And my goodness, just like the slide said, what's new at Royal Caribbean? What isn't new at Royal Caribbean? We have so much going on right now. Quite frankly, I'm not really sure where to start, but we are here at Perfect Day, as the slide indicates there. And so I feel like that's as good a place as any to start. So let's go on and talk about our next newest venue on the island. Many of you have been there. I know a lot of you on this call are going to be joining us on Icon of the Seas during the pre-inaugural celebrations, and we will have a stop here at Perfect Day. So if you haven't been yet, you certainly will. And coming in January, we will have, just a second here, the technology is broken. There we go. Hideaway Beach. This is coming in January of 2024. It's going to be positioned perfectly with the arrival of Icon of the Seas, and we're really excited about this space on Perfect Day. This is our newest phase, and it is the first adults-only beachfront paradise on the island. And really, again, as the kind of photo says here, it is going to be an absolutely magnificent space. And, you know, at Royal Caribbean, you know that we are a family brand, but really, truly something for everyone. So from the families to solo and single travelers to honeymooners and everyone in between, this is going to create an incredible space for those adults that want to just get away and be among the crowd for themselves. So I'm going to share a quick video here and get you in the mood. Bear with me just a moment. All right, just a quick little video to get you flowing here, and let's move right on to the next. There we go. So,
Yep.
kind of taking this.
Just share your screen one more time. The presentation isn't up yet.
There we go.
Perfect.
It's my first day. You can forgive me.
You're good.
All right, good. Okay, so
Wait,
here
there we
you
go.
should be seeing a beautiful shot of the Bay Area at Hideaway Beach. And Hideaway Beach was really imagined with a focus on our guest desires. So not only do did they want an adult-only space, but they wanted this vibe with music and craft cocktails and just tons of ways to soak up the sun, and really just a private little haven all of their own for just that short amount of time was what they were looking for. Now it's going to be open to guests 18 and older, and the pricing is going to be dynamic. So there will be a purchase of a pass required, and that will be dynamic pricing based on the seasonality and time of the year. But this is going to give us an additional up to 2,000 guests that we can welcome to Perfect Day. So I don't know about how many of you are on the call that have been to Perfect Day. I just got back on I was on Freedom of the Seas October 6th, and we had Harmony of the Seas in with Freedom of the Seas. So roughly about 8,000 guests, and there were really no lines for much of anything. There are certain peak times throughout the day where you might feel, you wait 10 or 15 minutes on the slides and so on. But in generally speaking, the island is big enough and spread out enough that even 8,000 guests will be able to find their quiet spot. Adding in the Hideaway here adds up to an additional 2,000 guests, so you can see how that's going to kind of benefit the entire island all the way through. There's going to be a total of 5 bars on Hideaway Beach. We're going to talk about those in a moment, including a swim-up bar. And the best part about all of that is that our beverage packages will be accepted at all of the bars on the island. All right. So I'm going to break the island down, or the space down for you, into 3 different pillars. We're going to call them the beats. We're going to call them the bites, and then we're going to call them the bougie. So the beats are this first pillar, really the vibe that we're creating on the island itself. The swim up bars, you're going to have live DJ music and live music all throughout the space. And the first stop here is the Hideaway Pool. So kind of take in the video and in the image here, and you can see the swim up bar to the top left, and the beach loungers that are in the water there. And then if it looks like the earth is flat and it's going over the edge, well, it is, because that's an infinity pool there, and just a great scene as you're in this pool and enjoying. And in case your clients ask, or in case you ask, the pool is heated. I don't know, you're in the Caribbean, you're in the Bahamas with sun and fun, but I guess, in those colder January, February timeframe, nice to know that the pool will be heated and it will always be comfortable for your guests. And now to the Hideaway Swim Up Bar. You can see how great of a vibe and space this is going to be. So similar to the swim up bar that we have on Perfect Day, this is going to be their own dedicated space. Again, the DJ is going to be there, and you're going to be able to kind of enjoy that scene without ever leaving the water. There's our DJ right there. So I think I see Joanna somewhere back there, but this is going to be an incredibly fun space for all day long.
I wish I was there.
You'll be there soon enough. Then we go on to On the Rocks Bar, and this is as I was kind of going through this and looking at the space and kind of seeing what it has to offer, the first thing that came to mind was an oceanfront playmakers vibe. So not only will we have live music in this space, but you can see them in the front there. But we're also going to have billiards tables and a shuffleboard table. So there's going to be a lot of table games that folks will be able to enjoy as they soak up the sun throughout the day as well. And you can kind of see how this is truly spread out over a nice wide area. All right. Well, I'm getting hungry. It is around lunchtime, so let's move on to the bites. And we're going to have two casual food spots here at Hideaway Beach. Both of them are complimentary. You heard me. Yes, both of them are complimentary. We're going to have our first pizza joint off of our ships, and it's called Slice of Paradise. And this is going to have fresh-made pizza, fresh-made to order. We're going to have menu options with an island twist. You're going to be able to get a Bahamian-style guava barbecued chicken pizza or a veggie feast. These are going to be true crowd pleasers, and you can see that kind of laid-back vibe that we have in there for all to enjoy. And then one of my favorites on Perfect Day currently, we have two snack shacks on the island, and this will be the third. If you want to get that burger with our secret sauce or our famous chicken sandwiches, this is an absolutely great spot for you, and lots of incredible crave-worthy eats that are available for you. Mozzarella sticks, salads, funnel cake, the list goes on. All right, finally, my favorite place, the Bougie. I did have a cabana on Perfect Day when I was there in October. I was in Thrill Island, and I cannot wait to get my cabana here in Hideaway Beach. Now, two different cabana types. We have the more VIP section called the Hideout, and take a look at this. So these cabanas include your own private swim up plunge pool, and you can see the infinity edge there, and all of these cabanas face that pool area. So if you purchase one of these cabanas, you will have your own private area and swim pool for just yourself and your family. Here's a nice view of it from the cabana itself, looking out onto the infinity pool. So you're in the cabana itself. Of course, it includes all bottled waters, and you've got your cabin attendant, and we actually have these really cool charging stations, so you can either bring your own music or they will bring a speaker for you that you can plug into Bluetooth. It's got a storage area. These come complete with a wet bar, and I can tell you that all of those amenities are incredible in your cabana. But the one amenity that I am looking most forward to on this one is number 3. And you might think I'm crazy, but I was just at this cabana in October, just 3 weeks ago, on probably one of the hottest days in the Bahamas that I can ever remember. Like, felt like you were melting. I could have used a fan in that cabana. And so I think an incredible enhancement, and, guaranteed to kind of keep yourself cool throughout the day, whether you want to enjoy the pool or not. If you want to just kind of take a little nap there on the sofa, you can do that and know that there's going to be a nice breeze around you at all times. All right, then we have the Hideaway cabanas. By the way, all of these are 200 square feet, and they all accommodate up to 8 people. So they do not have to be in the same stateroom. You can invite up to 8 of your closest friends or family, and this includes entrance into Hideaway Beach with your cabana. And you can see a similar list of amenities there. They've got my ceiling fan, thank goodness. And this is a more tucked away, kind of quiet area away from the vibe of the swim up bar and the infinity pool. So if you're looking for a more chill experience, this is the perfect place for you. All right, so many of you are familiar with Cocoa Beach Club, and you might be thinking to yourself, well, what's the difference? Cocoa Beach Club seems really nice and lovely, and why Cocoa Beach versus Hideaway Beach? Two completely different experiences, and the Cocoa Beach Club, that is our luxury scenario where it's all ages. It's got a great upscale restaurant that serves lobster and filet. We've got our main signature bar that's there, and then of course the most attractive private cabanas that are on the water. Bora Bora. So if your clients are looking for an incredible, luxurious day on the beach, this is their kind of country club, beach club day, if you will. And then for the adults that are looking for that, you know, casual, cool vibe, party scene in the pool, also with those private cabanas that we just talked through, lots of more casual food venue options. So you can see that this really caters to two different types of clientele. And what I would recommend is getting them to Perfect Day more than once, getting them to Perfect Day in successive years, because they can try all of these different experiences around. All right. Well, we've already shared a ton of information, so I want to take just a bit of a step back, because you're probably thinking to yourself, "My gosh, we've served up so many great images and great opportunities for clients. Where do I find all this information?" So if you remember nothing else from this webinar today, it is loyaltoyoualways.com. Loyaltoyoualways.com. That is our travel advisor page just exclusively for you, that provides you with all of our marketing resources that are available at your fingertips. So within loyaltoyoualways.com, you're going to find customizable consumer flyers and emails, social media banners. If you subscribe to Branch Up, we have ready-made and ready-to-go pieces that we push out through Branch Up, and posts that we will put out as well. So you'll have all of those at your fingertips, in addition to the updated Perfect Day infographics and posters. Well, if that enhancement on Perfect Day wasn't enough, we are building another island, so to speak. The island is already there, but we just entered into an agreement with the Bahamian government. And this is going to actually be a collaboration and partnership where it's a public-private partnership where Bahamians are going to be able to own up to 49% equity into the beach club. So we're giving back to our Bahamian partners and islanders that live there and thrive on tourism. They're going to be able to participate and take advantage of this equity stake in the island. It's a 17-acre space, and so if you've been to Nassau before, and as you're coming into Nassau, on the left-hand side, there's a little white lighthouse as you kind of come into the cove. It's that stretch of land, and believe it or not, that's a pretty long stretch of land there on Paradise Island, but it's that little stretch of land that we're going to be enhancing, and you can kind of see here from the images, not only the white sand beaches, and we're going to have an island barbecue on the island as well, live music, artisans. You can see cabanas will be available there as well. So it's going to be a really cool beach experience that our guests, exclusively our guests, will be able to take advantage of. You can see the ship there in the background, and you can tell that it's only a 5-minute ferry back and forth from the Royal Beach Club back to the ship and vice versa. So much more to come on that, but we're really, really excited to be offering your clients much more variety in the destinations and offerings that they are able to go to. Well, it is that time of the year when I start getting questions about when is that deployment coming out for Alaska, or when's that coming out for the Caribbean? We typically push itineraries out about 18 months in advance, and so this is kind of the time frame of the year between November and early February when we start rolling out that new deployment that's going to take us through 2026. And again, on loyaltoalways.com, there's a deployment tab at the very top of the page, which will take you to this landing page, and you'll have access to our deployment maps, itinerary calendars. We have frequently asked questions. There's consumer and deployment flyers, everything that you need in order to push out a destination to your customer and get them get more interest from them is there for you. And here you can see, I'll pause here for a moment because I want you to either take this screenshot or write these down, because we've been getting asked about Alaska for 2025, believe it or not. So 2024 has been open for a while, but as of next week, Alaska, the April to October of 2025 season will be open for sale. And then you can see in succession, Europe is following right after that for 2025. And then we've got Caribbean in phases, and then our short Caribbean, our Northeast product, and then our longer Caribbean. And then any other deployment that we haven't put out will be announced soon after. So you can come back to this site on loyaltyalways.com/deployment, and you can have access to this schedule, and it will change and update as we change and update throughout. All right. Well, I hope you're not tired yet, because we have many, many more new things to talk about. First and foremost, we have 4 new ships coming out in the next few years. 1 more Oasis class ship, so the 6th in the series. I'm going to talk about it in just a moment. That's Utopia of the Seas. Of course, Icon, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment as well. We just announced the next ship in the Icon class series. So in 2025, Star of the Seas will be debuting. And then in 2026, we will have Icon 3. We have not named her yet, but as soon as we do, we will let you know. All right. It is hard to believe, but today marks the 95-day point from the debut of the best family vacation in the world on Icon of the Seas. I can hardly wait. This is happening on January 27th of 2024. As you know, many of you in the audience and many CLIA members will be on board those inaugural sailings before this date, but 95 days away from that first sailing. And I'm going to go here with a video. And just want to get you excited once again about Icon.
I keep on moving to the beat of my own drum. Turn up the volume, you can hear that rum pum pum. I got the power. I got the power. We can do anything. We can go anywhere. I got the power. I got the power. We can do anything. We can go anywhere. I got the power.
All right. Well, if that doesn't get your blood flowing, I don't know what will. I don't know that I can help you on that, but we're going to try. So let's go to the next screen here. Okay, so there is beautiful Icon of the Seas. And what do we know about her? Okay, well, we know that Thrill Island contains the largest water park at sea with 6 record-breaking water slides. It also will have the Crown's Edge. I'm not sure I'm going to do this one because the floor actually drops out beneath you. It's 154 feet above the ocean, and it is hanging over the side of the ocean. Okay, that's not for the faint at heart, but I can't wait to hear any of you out there that do it. I can't wait to hear from you. How about the Aquadome? It's the largest freestanding dome at sea, and it's got this incredible 5-story waterfall. This is where we'll do our aqua theater shows and water shows throughout. Then we have the Hideaway. This is the world's first suspended pool at sea, and this is 65 feet in the air, and it is suspended over the Surfside neighborhood. Speaking of Surfside, there's going to be 3 different ways to play there and different ways to splash. We've got the Family Water's Edge Pool, Baby Bay, and Splash Away Bay is going to be tucked in there. Overall, we're going to have 7 pools on board, including the largest pool at sea, which is Royal Bay, and you can see that right there. As I mentioned earlier, Icon of the Seas is open for sale 2025 to 2026 sailings through April. All itineraries will go to Perfect Day, so it doesn't matter if you're doing the Eastern itinerary or the Western itinerary, they're all going to go there. And here's actually a great shot of that hideaway pool that is suspended 65 feet in the air. Just an incredible space that your clients are going to absolutely love. All right, well, we can't stop there and we can't rest on our laurels because Icon is going to be incredible, but let's start now talking about the world's biggest weekend on Utopia of the Seas. So this is the 6th Oasis class ship, 6th and final. It is going to be exclusively 3 and 4 night sailing. So imagine your clients sailing on an Oasis class ship for the very first time in a short cruise experience. You absolutely know that they will be hooked for the next cruise on and on again. It's going to sail from Port Canaveral, so easy to get to from everywhere. Awesome package opportunities with the theme parks that are there as well. Every sailing, the 3 and the 4 nights, will go to Perfect Day. And this we're really excited about is the first ship in the Oasis class series to be powered by liquefied natural gas. Icon will be powered by LNG as well, but this will be the first Oasis class ship. So you can see that we're making that step towards more green and more energy efficient and better for the environment. Now, Utopia is built on 3 pillars as well, and it is bigger ways to splash, bigger ways to dine, and bigger ways to party. So imagine you're packing 7 days of vacation into that 3 or 4 night experience. We have to do things a little bit differently, and we've got to be able to provide your clients with an absolutely incredible experience in a very short amount of time. So how are we going to do that? Well, as this very busy infograph will tell you, there's lots and lots of ways we're going to do that. So kind of think of this in combination with Perfect Day, because that is going to be the marquee port of call there and all of the things that Perfect Day has to offer. On board, 7 open deck bars, 3 pool deck food options, including our brand new poolside food truck that we're going to have on deck, which will be pretty cool. We're going to have, of course, the Ultimate Abyss coming back, and that is the longest dry slide at sea. And then we're going to have 5 returning favorites on board as well. So we're going to have mini golf, we're going to have the flow rider and the zip line, and a reimagined playscape with 2 rock climbing walls that will allow for competitive climbing between friends or foes. All right, bigger ways to dine. Let's do this. Overall, 40 ways to dine and drink. 21 dining options on board, with 10 of those being complimentary. So half of the dining options on board will be completely complimentary. And 10 of these 20 dining venues will include alfresco dining experiences. It's going to feature cuisines from 16 different cuisines from all over the world. So the variety of food is going to be incredible. The number of options that our guests are going to have is going to be incredible. And on a shorter cruise, you're going to see guests that crave more of a grab and go option. So that's where that food truck is going to come in really very, very popular among our guests. This ship will feature a 2-deck Giovanni's Italian kitchen and wine bar, and it's going to have an alfresco dining option called Gio's Terrazza, and that's going to be one not to be missed at all. And then finally, let's party. The bigger ways to party. Again, this kind of combination of the excitement of Perfect Day with the ship itself, with Utopia. I can tell you that there are 23 bar and entertainment spots on ship. One of the coolest venues that I'm looking forward to on board is the Pesky Parrot. That's our new Caribbean-themed tiki bar. And Playmakers will have 68 TVs. There's something about watching Sunday football and Saturday college football in Playmakers. Tons of fun. It's fun for the whole family. Everybody gets together and really enjoys the space. It's quite spectacular. And did you know that we're the only cruise line that produces entertainment across 4 different stages. So think about this. Of course, we're going to blow your mind on stage. We have Broadway productions. We have our own theater shows. On our ice skating rinks, we're going to have incredible ice shows. In the air, we have our aerialist shows, not only in the Aqua Theater, but in the main theater. And then, of course, our water shows in the Aqua Theater itself. So only venue or only company that has entertainment across 4 different stages. So again, imagine your first-time client or that client that is short on time but really needs the most out of their vacation. This ship is going to deliver tenfold. I'm not a smoker, so this caught my eye. I'm really excited to see that we're actually going to have 2 casinos on board. One of them is going to be a non-smoking casino. So while I don't play a ton, I like to go down every now and then, play some blackjack, but the smoke really bothers me, so I don't end up going there too often. This is going to now give us an opportunity to have a non-smoking casino completely separate and for those non-smokers to enjoy. Well, I know what you're asking me already is, oh my gosh, Anthony, this is a ton of information. Where do I go again to get all of this? Where do you go? loyaltoyoualways.com. That is going to be your main hub for all of that marketing information and material. We have a Utopia of the Seas microsite. We also have one for Icon of the Seas, for Perfect Day. So several of our bigger products, we will have these microsites that are literally a one-stop shop where you can go and pull down images and videos and banners and customizable emails and infographics. All of this is available to you on loyaltoalways.com. And I would be remiss if I did not plug our Royal Caribbean University. So a lot of you are accredited members of CLIA on board on the call today. And, you know, getting accredited for the brands that you sell or want to sell so that you can become an expert at what you do is no different. So Royal Caribbean University, you can become a bachelor or master. I recommend the master's degree because it's so important to invest in your education. When you invest in your education, your clients see how invested you are. They trust you. They know you know what you're talking about because you know the product inside and out. So it is extremely important for you to go ahead and take advantage of all of those out there for you. And additional ways to spark your sales, again, going to Royal Caribbean University, we have pre-built training webcasts for you, tips for families, information on our Royal Up program, and many, many more. So these are great places for you to go. You don't have to come in on the live session. You can always go back and get those pre-recorded little training segments, and you can update and upgrade your education as you go. Well, I'm sure this has happened to most, if not all of you out there. Have you ever missed a payment on a booking? Now, I'm not judging. It could happen to, it has happened to all of us, myself included, when I do my own travel. Life happens, right? And that booking gets canceled because I didn't make my final payment and the pricing is now different, or I can't get the stateroom that I wanted. Well, I wanted to tell you that as of today, you can make that all go away for yourself. You can actually use FlexPay, and this is scheduled payments. There's no cost to do this. There's no setup. It's automatic for you, but you do have to set up the credit cards and set this up for the bookings, but it's good for both individual and group bookings. And you can secure not only final payment, but you can schedule up to 10 other payments throughout the life cycle. So if you have clients that like to spread their payments out over time, or maybe you quote a client and the price is a little high for them and they're just not sure they're going to be able to do it, you can use this as a sales tool. You can say, well, you know, I can spread these payments out for you. So $3,000 sounds like a lot of money for a cruise, but I can make these payments in $300 increments. And, you know, now the client's like, wow, gosh, I can do that. Sure, I can make that $300 payment every month or every other month. And it just puts it into a much more palatable scenario for them. So it's a great selling opportunity for you, but guaranteed you'll never miss a payment again. Again, another way for you to be a hero to your clients. All right, so the next couple of slides are all about you. You all work really, really hard, and so I want to make sure that we reward you for all that hard work that you do. We're coming up to the end of our bonus commission for Alaska and Europe, and this is part of our Royal Icon agent appreciation. It's running through the end of the month. You're going to get $25 per qualified booking, no matter how many bookings you make, on any Alaska and Europe itineraries from April through November of 2024. Do remember to put that Royal Icon code in the booking at checkout so that you will get credit for that, and it will come back to you with your commission. So many of you have taken advantage of the CLIA bonus commission coupons, and you get these as an individual CLIA member, and you also get them if you're an agency owner or if your agency is a member of CLIA. The agency gets a set of these coupons as well. And you can see there's two different coupon types. You can see this $25 and $50. One of them says agent bonus, one says agency. I will say that they are one-time use only, so you can't use them on multiple bookings, but you have a year to use them, and they're valid on any open sailing within the year. So for example, in this year's case, you book any cabin between January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023 on any future date out there, and for any 3 to 5 night, you'll get a one-time $25 coupon bonus commission, and for 6 nights or longer, you'll get a one-time $50 bonus on that. You redeem it through Cruising Power, through coupon redemption. Super easy to do. It gets applied to the booking in a matter of days, and then it shows up in your commission with the rest of your commission. So a couple of ways that we're trying to give back and make sure that we are helping you to be as profitable as you can be, and really as a big thank you for all you do to promote our brand. All right, we're in the home stretch. I hope y'all are still with me. 2 more slides to go, maybe 3. I again would be remiss if I didn't share with you that most important resource that you have available to you, and something that's unique to Royal Caribbean, is that everybody, every travel agency, every travel agent has a local strategic account manager based on where the travel agency of record is located. The most important assets that you have are your strategic account manager. That's the sales manager that lives in your local area, and the business development specialist. That's my team member that's based here in the Miami office. They both work together as a team, and they will work with you not only to support the existing business that you have. So if there's issues with bookings, if there's, if you need, if you have questions on gap points and how to use them for groups, we're here to help and assist you on that. And we're the last line of defense if you have an issue that has not been able to get resolved through customer service. We can certainly jump in and assist you with that. And how do you find out who your local strategic account manager and BDS is? Well, that's just as easy. You go to cruisingpower.com, you click on the Contact Us button on the top right, and you'll see there where you can select either Celebrity or Royal Caribbean. And once you do that, it will populate who your sales manager is, and that's based on the agency that you book through, where they're located. So we do that by zip code, and you can see. So if you're in the Atlanta area, Travis Evans is your strategic account manager, and LaWanda Trapp is the business development specialist based here in Miami. And I'll leave you with this. When you are going to book your clients on their next vacation, you have a lot of options out there. And I first of all want to say thank you for putting your clients on Royal Caribbean, for thinking about putting your clients on Royal Caribbean. We appreciate that partnership, and we will do everything that we can to ensure that your clients come back happy and come back often. And I think one of the things that I'm most proud about in all of my years here at Royal Caribbean are the number of awards that we earn every single year. My favorite award is that Best Sales and Service. We've gotten that award for the last 15 years running, and it's because of our undying and unrelenting support of our travel advisors. And we will continue to do everything in our power to be better at what we do. But you can also see Best Cruise Line for 20 years in a row, Best Cruise Line in the Caribbean. These are really important awards that when you put your clients on a product, you want to know that they're going to be well taken care of, and award-winning hardware and software does not hurt. So with that, Joanna, I will turn it back over to you, and we can open it up to any questions.
Anthony, thank you so much for a great presentation. I know a lot of people obviously have been talking about Icon of the Seas, but to hear about all the other luxury ships, I'm sure they are very, very excited. It's very informative. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
We do have a bunch of questions coming in. Just to keep kind of in line with your presentation, a lot of our attendees are asking if you could share that link. I think it was loyaltyalways.com, or what was that
Yep,
website?
I can do that. I will share that right now.
Awesome. All right, and are you putting it there in the chat for them?
Yeah, I just put it in.
All right,
Make sure everybody can see it, yeah?
That's just to organize, it's okay. So I will repeat it for you all. It's www.loyaltooyoualways.com. Loyaltooyoualways.com. All right, great. And we did get a lot of excitement when you started speaking about Coco Cay. Could you speak about if there's a cost with the cabanas, how many they can rent or reserve at a time? And we can start there.
Yeah, for sure. So yes, there is a charge for the cabanas, and I will tell you from experience, you can book these through the pre-cruise planner on royalcaribbean.com, and my recommendation is to book them early. So, for example, there's 20 cabanas in Cocoa Beach Club. Those are over water, a mix of over water and on land. And there's another 20 or so in Chill Island. Then you have, I want to say, maybe 20 or so in Thrill Island, and now we'll be adding these here in Hideaway, on Hideaway Beach. Obviously, they're in short supply, and the demand far outweighs that. So what I would say is book early, book often, and they range in price. So I'll just be completely transparent, and maybe this will give you a true indication of what I really think about these cabanas. I told you I just went on Freedom of the Seas. I purchased my own cabana for $1,000. And I know that might sound like a lot, but it included my park tickets into Thrill Water Parks, which can range anywhere from $75 to $125 per ticket. And it includes the attendant, right? So there's someone there at your beck and call. It's a great home base, so you can park yourself there, and then everybody kind of goes off and does their thing and comes back. And we were there was 11 of us traveling. So I had someone else purchase another cabana, so we had cabanas side by side, and so all 11 of us were accommodated in these two cabanas that actually hold up to 16. And again, it was just a great way for us to all experience Perfect Day, Thrill Island together, and give us that home base throughout the day. So I hope that answered the question. I sometimes go off on a tangent because I get so excited about Perfect Day is my favorite.
No, that information I know is very, very vital to our attendees and our travel agents. So thank you for sharing. Another question that we are seeing here coming in multiple times is people are very excited about the different attractions that you all are adding to the mega ships. One question I think that's very important is you spoke about how you don't smoke, and so walking through the casino, if you need to go through there, is that the only way? Will clients on board or people on board have to walk through the casino, or is there a way around it?
No, they won't have to walk through it for sure. There will be other access points. As an example, I'm just going to refer to Freedom because that was the one I was most recently on. There's a couple of ways to access the casino on Freedom. One of them is down the Royal Promenade. So when you're on the Royal Promenade, there's a set of stairs that take you down from deck 5 onto deck 4 into the casino. And you can't smell smoke from that location going down. You really can't until you get into the casino because they have machines that kind of pump all of that out. So it's not. I guess maybe I want to make sure that I'm clear that it's not a cloud of smoke that you zip and unzip and go in and out of. The smoke itself is very faint, if at all, when you're in the casino. I just happen to be really sensitive to it. So I don't want to give you this sense that, it's going to be in this smoke-filled room and, everybody's there in a very dingy kind of a situation. The smoke machines take care of pretty much all of that and do a great job of pumping it out. But what's a really great feature of Utopia is that we're going to have 2 separate casinos. So again, for those that just don't want to even be around it or can't be around it because they're allergic and whatnot, I just wanted to point out that there is going to be a completely separate casino that is non-smoking.
Great. No, that's great because so that people who are non-smokers can still gamble and enjoy the casino that you guys have on your board. That's amazing to hear. And just to go back to Coco Cay, and maybe you can touch on this with any of the other mega ships. I know that there are probably a lot of clients who have dietary restrictions or food allergies. Could you speak a little bit about how agents or clients can let you all know about that prior to getting on board? And is there a special process to do that for Coco Cay?
So I'll answer that in 2 ways. The first way will be the easiest way. So for any client that has a dietary restriction that you want to let us know about in advance, you can do that in the booking process. And there's also an accessibility page on our website that you can go to so that you can make that known. So like there are some guests that might have celiac or gluten that have to be gluten-free, and they may want to give us specific instructions. They can do that in advance, and they really do an amazing job of accommodating that. But one of the things that we do, when the minute you sit down at any venue, the waiter will ask you if there are any dietary restrictions that they need to know about. So literally on the fly, even if you came on board and didn't tell us about your restrictions, we would be able to accommodate you with little or no interruption in any service whatsoever. So in the Windjammer Buffet, we have a whole gluten-free section of the buffet dedicated to just gluten-free items, and it's not just 1 or 2 things. It's a whole variety of things. But chef will especially prepare menu items. They will take those dietary concerns into consideration when they're preparing meals and menus for you. So yeah, for anyone that really wants to take care of that in advance, we certainly highly recommend that. But you can do that through the booking process online, and we have an 800 number for our access team as well. So there's lots of ways that you can do that in advance with us.
Perfect. No, that works just fine. And just to go back to Hideaway, a lot of people are now just putting in a lot of other questions now that we're speaking about it. Could you speak about if there's a cost to go to Hideaway, if it is included?
So there's a cost to go to Hideaway, just like there is to Thrill Island. There is a cost for that. It's a dynamic price, so I couldn't even begin to tell you what that price is going to be today. We're still working that out, obviously, but it will be dynamic based on that quote unquote entrance, right? So the same for Cocoa Beach Club, same for Thrill Island, and now will be for Hideaway Beach. Once you're in there, if you have the drink package, you don't. There's nothing more to purchase for drinks
Curious to
anyway,
know.
because that's included. And all of the dining venues in Hideaway Beach are all complimentary and included, so there's no additional charge for food in Hideaway Beach.
Great to hear. And it sounds like a good time, a fun time.
Absolutely.
So Anthony, this picture that you have up here on the screen, obviously there's a lot of different attractions, a lot of different things to do on board. You spoke about kid-friendly things. Are there certain places on board or certain attractions on the mega ships that are age restrictive or better for kids for certain age groups?
Well, so what you're seeing here is Utopia, right? And so on Utopia, Adventure Ocean, which is our children's program, which is broken up into several different age groups by, and they're grouped by age and so on. That is in this aft area. So if you see the area with the octopus on the right there, that's the children's playscape area. So if you walk towards the forward of the ship, that's where Adventure Ocean is, with the arcades and all of the different separate age-appropriate rooms. You also have, of course, basketball, pickleball up here, and then the dunes, mini golf. If we go to Icon, Surfside neighborhood, which for like reference, if you look down below, so you've got the Ultimate Abyss here off the back of Utopia, that purple dry slide. You have the Aqua Theater. As you move forward, that's the boardwalk, right? So that space on Icon is Seaside. That Seaside, and what you're going to find with Icon and why it's so different is Icon have these completely self-contained neighborhoods where we have everything in one space. And so that's a little bit of a departure from Oasis Class, where you have mostly everything within that space, but you may have to go off separately for food or for entertainment like live music or for drinks and so on. Surfside will bring everything into that space. So Surfside is the family destination. It will have Adventure Ocean that will live there. It will have dining venues that are family appropriate. It will have live entertainment. We're actually going to have like life-size, oversized darts and ring toss and a lot of these kind of like classic games that will be on Surfside. So it's a nuance, but it's really important to note, and I'm glad that somebody brought that up, was that on Icon, these spaces become self-contained. So if you're on board Icon and you're not with your family and you don't have kids, that's probably not going to be an area that you're going to be accessing. You could, but it's not going to be. You might go to Hideaway, which is that 65-foot cantilevered over Surfside kind of. It's not an adult-only area, but it is this kind of cool, hip, chill space that folks will find. So with Icon, there's just more of those spaces where you'll be able to kind of break off and do your own thing, but you won't necessarily need to leave that venue. If you really are enjoying the vibe, you won't need to leave it to either go grab a bite or, the entertainment isn't happening here, it's happening over there. So the scenes will be very well contained and connected, and will kind of move with the mood of the day, if you will.
So there's something for everyone throughout the entire day
Amen.
and into the evening.
There sure is. And the spaces change throughout the day as well. So, in the Aquadome, it might be this kind of serene spa-like environment during the early morning and into the day, and then slowly, as it gets towards the evening, it ramps up with livelier music and entertainment and activity to the point that the aqua theater show is going on in front of you, and then now there's live music going on right in front of you and all around you. So it's kind of this, the vibe goes along with the activity or timing of the day on board, if that
Yeah,
makes
but
sense.
good vibes only, right?
What's that?
I said, but good vibes only, right?
Only good vibes. That's all we serve.
And we do have a bunch of other questions here, but Anthony, just in the essence of time, I will be providing you with a list of all these questions that came in. So if I don't get to your question, attendees, Anthony will get them. He will be able to reach out to you guys and point you in the right direction. But just to wrap up here, I'm glad that we're talking about all the different things that are on board and there's something for everyone. Could you just speak very quickly about any accessibility accommodations that you guys have made on board, especially these mega ships, just to make sure that even if there is a disability that a client has, that it's not going to hinder or get in the way of them enjoying everything that you guys have put on board?
Yep. And that's where I'll say, I mean, I could talk for an hour just on that subject alone, and but it's an important topic. And so what I'll say is, as briefly as I can, our ships are accessible. They're over and above ADA compliance in most cases, and we work really hard with the design and new build teams to ensure that, for example, all of our pools have, if someone's confined to a wheelchair, as long as they can still swim and tread water, we have lifts that will take them in and out of the pool areas. The accessibility by ramp onto the different venues. There's accessible staterooms, right, that have wider doors, push button access, entry into there, hearing impaired, vision impaired. All of this is managed by our access team. And so I hope what I want to do is be able to follow up. I don't have it at my fingertips right now, but I'd love to follow up and kind of give you the email and the phone number for our access team so that you have it handy. But if you go to Loyal to You Always and you type in accessibility in the search, it will bring up, we have accessibility brochures, we have tons of collateral on that. So like I said, I could talk for hours on accessibility, but what I will say is that, everybody's disability is different. And so if you think someone in a wheelchair may not be able to participate in certain activities, think again. I had a guest with me on a ship tour that I did recently, and she is a paraplegic, so no use of her legs, but she is very active, and she was wanting to know how she could climb the rock wall. And there are certain assistive devices and so on. We didn't have them on this particular ship, but in her case, it didn't matter because she had the upper body strength and the determination, and we let her climb the rock wall because our staff is all trained with this, and they're all willing to help because they want to make sure that everybody's vacation is special to them. And so we don't really go at it as saying you can't do this or you can't do that. We try to provide as much access to all activities that we can, and we will assist where we can as well. So I hope that gives you at least a brief, taste of the abilities that we have for our guests that are challenged with certain disabilities. So,
yeah, thank you so much for sharing that story. And honestly, that's lovely to hear that you guys go above and beyond to make sure, regardless of the status of a client, that they can participate. And really, that's something that she's probably going to remember for the rest of her life. That's awesome.
For sure. And you want to make sure that people are safe, right? So
for sure,
someone might want to push the envelope a little bit, and we might have to step in and say, well, look, we're looking out for your safety as well. So the idea is not to tell someone they can't do something, but we're also there to make sure that they can do it and do it safely.
Yeah, lovely. No, you're absolutely correct. And just to wrap up here, unfortunately, we are running out of time. Could you just go back to the slide with how they find their BDM in case they have specific questions about commissions or sales or itineraries or destinations or anything like that?
Absolutely.
Oh, and it looks like, just so you see it here, it looks like they have Lawanda's email, same as Travis on this page.
Correct. Yep.
Okay,
So Lawanda, so the business development specialist's role is they receive all incoming email for the sales manager.
got it.
So because in most cases, Lawanda will be able to support, and it's not just Lawanda, so poor thing. I don't want her to get bombarded, but it's not. Any business development specialist will receive all of those incoming emails for that specific sales manager. They will probably handle 90% of what comes in, to be honest. And then if it's a business opportunity, maybe they want to do a cruise night, or they have a large group opportunity that they want to talk to their sales manager about, they will then pass that along. They may call you. They may say, well, gosh, I this sounds like a great opportunity. Can you give me a little bit more information on this? Or they may conference you in with the sales manager. And like I said, they work together as a team. So I think the takeaway from that is if you have an opportunity, reach out to us. No matter what, reach out to us, because we will help you get creative. We will find a way to try to get that piece of business for you. And if you have an issue, definitely for most efficiency, you want to reach out to trade support, to customer service, to those areas that have a call center of people waiting to help you with that particular issue you have. If it's not resolved to your satisfaction, or if it wasn't able to get resolved, that's when reach out to the specialist, and they can work with you and sometimes kind of look outside the box a little bit, and maybe they can't provide you what you're asking for, but they will give you an alternative solution that ultimately we want to work towards a win-win solution.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that information and pulling up that screen again. I know a lot of our attendees are going to be bombarding the business development specialist for their area with questions. There are a lot of unanswered questions here, but I'm sure your team at Royal is willing and able and very eager to help our agents here.
Absolutely. We are ready for you. So again, any and all opportunities, issues, concerns, any of it, bring it to us. We are here to support you. If you're not successful, we're not successful. So we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can for you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Anthony. And just to wrap up here, I want to thank our attendees for joining us for another webinar with CLIA and one of our global cruise lines. Anthony, thank you for giving us a very, very, very well put together presentation and answering all of our questions that we had here in the hour. And I hope that you all can join us again for our next one.
My pleasure. Have a great day, everybody.
Take care. Bye.